Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What's a small, seemingly insignificant decision you've made that ended up having a huge impact on your life? I broke my hand playing soccer in high school, fell, landed awkwardly. Consequently, all I could do for gym class was walk a loop around the track the entire class period until my cast came off. A girl had a cast on her broken finger. Hers got accidentally closed in a car door. So she walked with me every day. And we talked and hit it off. 20 plus years later we're married with a couple of kids. This is so fucking sweet. It's so fucking sweet, I think it gave me diabetes. I went to prison for a robbery. I did it. I was a heroin addict. After almost 5 years in, at a work center, I got a write-up which would make me stay in for a few months longer. The warden offered a deal if I would paint a mural at a local high school of their mascot. They'd forgive the write-up. I had always been good at drawing. They knew that, which is why they asked. But had never done a mural. I figured out how to scale it up in my head and did it. I got out about 6 months later and made it my career. I'm now married, happy, and fully booked until summer of next year for work, owning my own business. In September, I will have been out for 10 years. I also hid my initials in the high school mascot mural. Did you ever thank that warden, who was obviously a decent man? I have not. I should. I was flying to Costa Rica to go backpacking south from there. My sister told me to fly into Guatemala. I had to see it. So I did, and here I am still 10 years later, with a son and a life I never imagined. Guatemala is a hidden gem. My mom goes there every year. I have a friend who winters there and has for some decades. He says it is not so hidden as a gem anymore, especially post-COVID. It took a random part-time job out of desperation making wooden skateboard racks. 12 years later I'm deeply embedded in the woodworking industry and found a career. Didn't see that coming. Edit. Appreciate the gold, I'd call that a classy move. It's destined smiling face. I'm actually building a bed for my son right now. It's pretty amazing how things work out. Was at a conference and stepped outside for a smoke. Bumped into a friend of mine who introduced me to the man he was walking with. That man encouraged me to apply for an opening in his office and 6 months later, he hired me. It was the job that jump-started my career, changing my trajectory, and all because of a bad habit. Do you still smoke? Ha ha, ha, thankfully no. Dropped it a few years ago at the start of COVID lockdown. My new desk job's internet filter stopped me from going to my favorite websites. It didn't block BoardGameGeek.com. However, so I ended up spending my downtime at work researching board games, game designers, and publishers. I read about a game I couldn't find a copy of and put together a version of how I thought it might play. Later I found out I was totally wrong about how that game worked. But I preferred my version of the game. Yada yada yada. I'm an award-winning board game designer now. Edit. Sorry to disappoint, but this Reddit profile is far too incriminating to share my game. And therefore my real identity. With you guys. It's about the cones. No joke. The episode Cold Open in which Ben first shares cones of Dunsha is the most accurate representation of the experience of hobby board game design I've ever seen. This is nothing. I'll just throw all of this away, is something I've said multiple times to my wife. Grabbed a beer instead of going home early. I got offered a job when I was struggling to find a first job. Was it in bear wrangling? Close. The guy that offered me the job kinda looks like a bear. A kid's birthday party I wasn't planning to go to. I changed my mind at the last second. Met my husband there. Just saying yes to invitations can unexpectedly change your life for the better. Just saying yes to invitations. Look at Mr. Sociable here. Getting invitations. Cancelling my plans. Person cartwheeling. Entered the green card lottery. Friend was trying to figure out how to do it. So I downloaded the instructions and completed an application to show them how. Since it was easier than asking them for all their info, I made a dummy application using my own info. When I was done I thought, meh, might as well, and dropped my application into the outgoing mail. Then forgot all about it. I was highly confused when, nearly a year later, I got a letter from the State Department. I've been in the US for 20 years now, married, kids, the whole thing. Biggest change I ever made, and it was just a random 15-minute thing I did to help a buddy. What about your friend? He never made it. He was understandably a little jealous when I told him, but saw the funny side. I chose to be nice to everyone in high school, even the kids people thought were weird. Fucked my life up pretty bad 10 years ago and recently got a call asking if I wanted to train as a software developer by one of those kids. I was frying chicken in a gas station for scraps. Dude told me he remembered me being smart and into that stuff and knew I could learn fast. Hell yeah mate. Hope you're enjoying life more these days. It's going alright all things considered. Playing WoW, I picked Druid. Ended up loving playing a healer. Decided to become a nurse IRL. Still like being on the healing team. Good thing you didn't pick Warlock. Playing D4, and I picked Necromancer. Fuck. Accepted an invite to some dude's team on Overwatch, video game. Now I live on the opposite side of the country with him and we have 2 dogs and a Costco membership. The Costco membership means you guys are serious. I was with my mom at a bar in Paris. She was a pain in the ass about what specifically she wanted to eat. So we left without finishing the drinks. 10 minutes after, LTHE bar got shot by terrorists. Edit. I added, to be more clear. Shit. That's a lot of noise. TK. 2015. I doubt it. That would be a lot of terrorists.